Welcome to Hood War Stories. In this episode, I'll be discussing the murder that launched Operation Drawdown. By now, it's widely known that Big U has had the keys to the Rolling 60s, who are not only the deepest black gang in LA County, but has spread across the nation and set up large bases in cities like Atlanta, St. Louis, and Baltimore to name a few. But his reign over this powerhouse gang didn't just happen overnight. Born Eugene Hanley, he grew up the majority of his life on the west side of South Central, near Arlington and Slauson. He would join the Arlington Gangsters, who were led by his cousin Chili Capone. The AGs would eventually merge and become the Rolling 60s. U built his reputation as an elite fighter, learning martial arts and acquiring a black belt. When the crack era came around, Big U's focus shifted into making money. In 1991, he was arrested in a sting operation after he and another person attempted to rob someone they assumed to be a drug dealer. After serving 13 years, Big U was released in 2004. Post-release, Big U would dive back into the music industry, managing local LA rappers like Sandman the Goose and Nipsey Hussle.
Damn, so he really had a black belt, huh? He probably was putting that thing to use around the neighborhood.
On March 19th of 2025, Big U and other alleged members of the Rolling 60s were arrested as a part of a federal investigation. In the RICO charges, Big U is accused of carrying out the 2021 murder of Rayan Williams. Rayan Anthony Williams was born on January 3rd of 2000. Before he shifted gears and began rapping, he originally aspired to be in the NFL. Big U coached Rayan in football since he was young. Rayan developed a sense of trust in Big U as someone he could look up to. Rayan even lived with Big U for a period while he was in high school, as Rayan and Big U's son were good friends. At some point, Big U believed that Rayan had wore a chain that belonged to his son without his permission, thus leading to Rayan being kicked out. At Crenshaw High, he played wide receiver. Being involved with sports would keep him out of trouble. After high school, his football dreams fizzled out. He began to fully focus on rapping, as he saw it as an opportunity to get rich. In 2021, Rayan had been living in California with his older cousin. At that time, he was under Big U's Unique Music and was working with the music producer on an upcoming project. Through Unique Music, Big
I wonder what made him give up his football dreams.
U booked Rayan's Airbnb and travel accommodations and arranged a trip for Rayan to record in Las Vegas. Rayan was supposed to make one song per day while he was in Vegas, but he slacked off after he touched down in the city. On January 19th, he didn't show up to the studio for a second time. He told a Big U associate he would double up on the next day. The following day, on January 20th, Rayan recorded an unreleased diss song that North Las Vegas police later obtained. Authorities believe this track is aimed at Big U. Big U was later informed of Rayan's song, as well as him wasting studio time. It's believed that these were main factors that led to the dispute between Big U and Rayan. A dispute serious enough that 2 days later, Big U and Sylvester drove from LA to Vegas to confront Rayan. Big U and his associate arrived in Vegas on January 23rd. At around 2 a.m. on January 24th, Big U pulled up to Rayan's Airbnb and asked him why he did not show up to the studio the day prior. Rayan claimed he did not have a ride to the studio. Rayan's friend was also present during this encounter. On the night of January 24th,
And I think that's the same driver who ended up telling everything, too, if I'm not mistaken, bro.
4th, 2021, at 7 p.m., Big U arrives at the studio. At around 9 p.m., Rayan arrives at the studio and recorded a song from 11 p.m. until midnight. On January 25th, around 12:37 a.m., Big U left the studio, and the gray sedan that he and Sylvester had driven to the studio was no longer there. At approximately 12:59 a.m., Big U's phone stopped reporting location data of any kind, with the last data recorded within the vicinity of the studio. At approximately 1:13 a.m., surveillance footage at the Airbnb revealed a gray sedan arriving to the Airbnb. A few minutes later, Rayan exited the Airbnb with a suitcase, put the suitcase in the trunk, and got in the gray sedan which departed. The Airbnb was still rented for another day, and Rayan's flight wasn't scheduled to leave until the next day. Both of Big U's phones did not begin reporting location data until 2:15 a.m. At approximately 2:30 a.m., Big U returned to the studio alone in the gray sedan. He was reportedly drenched in sweat. Big U told security that he just came back from the gym. Rayan's body was found.
It's crazy because they got the whole rundown. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he ain't tell them none of this shit, but look how they piecing it together. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit. Like I say, the driver, he ain't Fidel.
Hours later, at approximately 9 a.m., Rayan had been shot multiple times, and his body had been dragged and left in a ditch not far from Interstate 15. Big U's phone location data showed that he departed Vegas to return to LA at approximately 10 a.m. At the crime scene, DNA was collected from Rayan's ankle area. The DNA profile obtained was not complete. An analysis of Big U's DNA profile was inconclusive, such that he could not be excluded as the contributor of the DNA. A couple days after the homicide, Big U arranges for recording equipment to be removed from the studio, including destruction of surveillance video data that would have shown Rayshawn and Big U at the studio shortly before the murder. Big U had the security take a walk prior to the removal of the equipment. Investigators believe that the footage from the DVR system would have shown an altercation between Big U and Rayshawn the night of the 24th. Rayshawn's aunt called Big U on January 27th after she learned Rayshawn had been killed. Big U claimed he had not seen or heard from Rayshawn and did not know his whereabouts. Rayshawn's aunt told investigators that Big U would call her on a weekly basis prior to the murder. But after that phone call on January 27th, she never again heard from Big U. Throughout the entire investigation, the family members and friends who have been interviewed have pointed to Big U as the person they believe to be responsible for Rayshawn's murder within days.
Shit, bruh. That's crazy. You know, that is fake way, like, strange. He was living with you, right? Then he disappeared, whatever, how you. Then the family, like, of course, it's only reasonable for them to reach out to him because he was under his supervision, whatever, and his label and shit. So they like, you just stopped communicating with us after bruh disappeared? It's crazy. It get more diabolical though.
Multiple people were sending Instagram messages to Big U, demanding answers for what happened to Rayshawn, all of which went without response. North Las Vegas police searched Rayshawn's Instagram. Rayshawn's final Instagram message to Big U was regarding the price of a song and was sent on January 24th at 1:57 p.m. Big U did not respond until January 26, 2021 at 8:14 a.m., almost 24 hours after Big U left Las Vegas following Rayshawn's murder. In the meantime, the evidence shows Big U had seen Rayshawn at the studio the night of January 24th after Rayshawn had sent the message, and Big U had presumably discussed the price of the song there, appearing to authorities that Big U sent the Instagram message on January 26th in an attempt to plead ignorance that Rayshawn was murdered and to avoid suspicion from law enforcement of his alleged involvement in the murder. In 2023, North Las Vegas police went by Big U's home when he was not there after leaving a business card and informed.
You hear that, bruh? You send a message back to a that's been missing, bruh, for rest in peace to it, rest in peace to Rayshawn or whatever have you. But you send a message, bruh, to bruh, and he been missing a whole year. He said, I think he said January 26, 2026, but he meant January 26, 2025, I think, or whatever have you. Either way, bruh. The roller's like, hold on. And they knowing all this, though, but it's crazy. But see, he might be out of touch, bro, with technology. Because anybody would know, like, hell no, they're going to be able to tell. Instantly, I ain't sending no messages or none of that shit. That looks strange, bruh.
Informing his wife that they were following up on the 2-year anniversary of Rayshawn's murder. His wife would lie to police, stating that Big U lived at the 62nd Street house sometimes. In actuality, Big U was there most nights unless he was traveling. Big U's wife then called him off his dad's phone to inform him that police showed up at their house. After the call, Big U did not return home for 2 weeks, something he had not done during the entirety of the surveillance. On February 14th, during a wiretap call, Big U called Martin to meet with him at his auto shop to discuss the police investigation into Rayshawn's murder. Following the call to Martin, Big U immediately placed calls to his associate, abbreviated as DS. DS was the person who reportedly removed the video surveillance from the studio. The first few calls went unanswered. Then Big U told him he needed to meet with him. The following is a transcript of the portion of the conversation. Where you at? At the house, ready to jump in the shower. Which I need to pull up on you. Alright, I'm right here at the house. Alright, I gotta pull up on you and how long you gonna be? You ain't about to go nowhere, are you? Nah, okay. I'll just jump in the shower though, just to be ready though. Okay, alright for sure. Within the last few weeks, a leaked recorded phone call had surfaced, revealing Rayshawn's mother telling WAC 100 about Big U's arrest before it happened.
And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just seen WAC on No Jumper. I think he was saying that they wasn't sure if that was his mom or whatever. I don't know, bro. I think that was a real phone call, but I don't know. He was saying something about it not being a mama or something, bro.
When did the test come back? When did the DNA come back?
It came back 2 months ago.
And they still ain't arrested the nigga?
Well, they told me between me and you, please, between me and you, don't tell nobody because they don't want nobody to know. They're going to be making an arrest the ending of March, the beginning of April.
Gotcha. I'm going to sit back and watch the show.
Prior to turning himself in, Big U recorded videos denying the accusations.
I'm looking at all these charges on the news. I'm headed back to LA. And then I'm looking at the people they arrested. How you gonna go arrest people that I don't even talk to? That's a built-in, liar right there. You know what I mean? So, is that how they gonna work the case? So if you want to arrest certain dudes, and put them next to me.
Another thing Wack was saying, like, oh, ain't no way he was privy to the indictment because he wouldn't have been bringing me up, right? Like, as far, he didn't know the phones was tapped and all this other shit. But it's crazy because he had to know something was going on, but maybe that didn't set off his spidey senses, you know what I'm saying, right from the jump. Because what's her name? Trap Queen Money, she got snatched up or whatever. Then she told him about it, like, yeah, bro, hey, nigga, they on to us, whatever, how you. He must have thought it was isolated, like they just on to us about this trafficking, you know, type shit. He not knowing to what extent it's going. So that's why he was like, man, he figured like it's some internet shit that got me wrapped up in this shit, whatever. But they knew, bro, about hell others. You heard what he just said, bro? He said he came back to the studio sweating. Phone's been cut off, bro. Messenger dead, bro.
Them is the dudes you gonna have to call themselves turning against me. Well, ain't no turn against me. I ain't going for that. You might well go get 600 and whack. These dudes been saying I did shit all year. So what they doing is they go on the internet and these dudes say that I did shit on the internet. Then when you say I did on the internet, they go investigate it. Now you raiding my houses, raiding my shops, raiding all this stuff. And talking about I'm committing crimes and covering up with developing option. What crimes am I committing to cover up with developing option? You know what I'm saying? I ain't committed no crimes and covered nothing up with developing option.
Man, shout out Hood War Stories. Make sure y'all go tap into the channel. I'm gonna link it, bro. I know I be forgetting. I'm gonna link it down below. Crazy thing is, you know, a lot of people they say they on loose, like all this popping that you've been doing on the podcasts and all that shit or whatever, how you like, or basically they feel like there's no way, bro, that all this federally RICO is over just some podcast shit. Now that people did highlight that the shit, some of the shit that Luce was saying on these podcasts can be corroborated by some of the victims and shit like that. So, well, you know, that might have played a part. But as far as like all these podcast talking about Big U and whatever, I don't think that played a part into the RICO, bro. But I do think it was like, it was information that was unbeknownst to the public, right? And it was being laid on us beforehand, so the people was looking at that too, like, hold on, damn, bro, how niggas know, bro? Even if this ain't the cause or the reason for Big U going to jail, how y'all was so adamant and knew everything before it happened? Miss Cleo's sons and shit like that. But I mean, yeah, bro, it's some diabolical shit, you know. Ain't gonna lie, like that. See, he broke it down to a point where it's like, hold on, all this we knew certain shit about, and it's crazy. Certain shit was cleared up about the fingernails and all that shit, but the phone being cut off, showing back at the studio, pressing the engineers, all that other shit. It's like, ooh, it might for surely be over. They be, you know, because they was talking about it's other counts like, oh, he might go down for this, the racketeering. They might got him on that one. They might got him on this, bro. This was really, it's like shit looking bad. Like, what the hell? And then it's no way you hella technical savvy, like with the social media or whatever, have you, to think that they ain't gonna be able to know when you sent this message and what it's gonna look like when they realize, oh, you sent this message after the fact to make it, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna make it appear like you was trying to, bruh, this shit, wow. But shit, y'all let me know what y'all think. We on to the next one, bruh. Man, this shit ain't good, bruh.
Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that yaper, need it now and not later, ho. Say ho, you can't be playing with that paper, ho. Nigga need that